We're right with you. The Morning Majority, 5 to 9 on 630 WMAL.
Full house this morning, 7:37 on WMAL. Morning Majority, Brian Neiman, former Virginia Governor Jim Gilmore in the house. Mary Catherine Ham from the Daily Caller is here as well. The president gave a big speech on immigration reform yesterday down in Texas. Bob Dane joins us. He's with the Federation for American Immigration Reform, FAIR. So we were talking earlier, Bob, was it a serious speech or was it a stump speech? How did you see it?
A stump and a stunt. That was certainly the mission accomplished speech. You know, it stokes his voting base. You had a three-part formula yesterday, the same that Napolitano has been using. A, the borders are finally secured. B, that means we can move along the game board to amnesty. And C, if we do that, amnesty makes us all prosperous. But the whole thing is preposterous because the president knows amnesty is dead. He's going through the motions anyways. He needs to be perceived as the pitchman for amnesty, and at the same time look like he's the victim of these hard-boiled Republicans who just have no compassion for illegal immigrants when amnesty goes nowhere, which it's not. It's stoking the far left, the open borders base, and it demonizes everyone else. And I think most importantly, it's very transparent. It shows why the immigration system is in such a crisis. It's addressed only when it's convenient to use as a political football to gain yardage.
Yeah, speaking of which, the president tells me that you, Bob, you just want a moat on the border. And if you could be a little more reasonable about what you want, then everything would be fine.
Well, instead of mocking those of us who look at our immigration policy in a serious fashion, you know, what we really need is a president standing up and saying that illegal immigration won't be tolerated, illegal aliens aren't going to be given amnesty, not now, not never, and frankly, we're going to take a long, hard look at overhauling the entire system, legal immigration too. We're going to ask some hard questions. How many do we need? You know, how many sheer numbers of human beings do we need? Who do we want coming in with what skills? And most importantly, how is the immigration policy impacting and affecting jobs, welfare, health care, education, national security, environment, energy supplies? Ultimately, how it serves the broad national interest. But yesterday, you know, the re-election pandering is taking precedent over these critical American interests.
You know, hey, Bob, this is Jim Gilmore. How are you?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Don't you think that, first of all, I agree with you. I think we can't have an amnesty because I think it undermines the rule of law. And I think what we have to have in this country is the rule of law. And if you start basically saying, well, we were just kidding about the law, then why aren't we just kidding about all laws? So I agree with that. But don't you think there's value in bringing more young people into the country, people who can, you know, take advantage of our exciting entrepreneurial quality of life and make something out of themselves and add some value to this country? What do you think about that? We
certainly should be moving to more of a skills-based approach for our national immigration policy. But remember this, you know, immigration policy is economic policy, gosh, now more than it's ever been. I mean, think about what we're doing. While we're outsourcing a lot of our well-paying jobs overseas, we're importing millions of the world's least skilled, least educated, most heavily government-dependent legal immigrants every year, about 1.5 million. We're not properly enforcing the laws against 13 million illegal immigrants already here. And then to boot, and a lot of folks don't realize this, we're compromising these critical remaining high-skilled, well-paid jobs we do have left by importing almost 1 million additional foreign guest workers each year. And then, you know, that's all against the backdrop of a declining economy and massive spending and debt at every level of government. We've got to stop illegal immigration, reduce the flow of legal immigration to more sensible levels, tighten the labor market, and frankly, just stop these foreign guest workers altogether. We'd open up jobs for Americans, increase wages, and reduce welfare.
I'm going to get to the point that you said about the border being more secure. This is Jen Napolitano's argument. She's been saying for quite some time now that the border is as secure now as it has ever been.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you agree with her assessment, Bob?
You know, yesterday it sounded like a setup to a Geico commercial. Are the borders really secure? Look, he needs us to believe the border is secure so he could move on to the pressing issue of which is amnesty. You know, it's preposterous. The border has never been secure, and it probably will never be. Right. So the bar was set pretty low.
All right, let me ask you this, though. This has been my take on illegal immigration for quite some time. The problem is not necessarily the United States. The problem is Mexico. I mean, the economy is terrible. The government has no control. The drug cartels are running wild there. why would someone want to even stay in Mexico? And actually, it would be to our benefit if we got Mexico running again, get the economy running again, for people would want to stay in the country. What do you think about that?
There's a strong argument using foreign aid to help countries improve the economic opportunities so that they don't come up here. Now, obviously the major draw in the United States for illegal immigration is the jobs magnet. So for us, job one is to reduce and to stop that jobs magnet, and the way you do that is by E-Verify, making it mandatory and universal. And I think the other draw that illegal aliens are coming to the United States for are to have children on U.S. soil, and that's a completely separate issue, but I think that requires a statutory reinterpretation of the birthright citizenship clause.
Now, drug problem as well. I mean, that's another huge reason why we see people coming over the border and they're making money off of it. Is the war on drugs has been a failure, has it not?
Well, it certainly has, and for the president to say that the border was secure yesterday was just complete fabrication. I mean, that statement comes on the heels of a House subcommittee hearing last week that revealed that smuggling along the southern border, drug smuggling, is so bad that in certain jurisdictions and counties in Arizona that the federal prosecutors won't even touch a case unless the amount of marijuana is over 750 kilograms. That's 1,650 pounds, and if you do the math, that's about 15 backpacks.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right,
Look, most importantly, the border is probably never going to be secure as long as the incentives to come here illegally remain. You dry up that jobs magnet with E-Verify, and that's probably as good as all of the fence being put up.
All right, Bob. Good to talk to you. Thanks for coming on the show. Appreciate it.